Welcome back to the channel, everyone. Thanks for joining us in another one here on the coach's desk. Hoping that everybody is doing well and everybody is doing all right. So I'm just sharing my thoughts, right? Because in a live stream that I was having, we're having a conversation and this just jumped out at me, and very interesting in Jamaica's athletics. So as the thoughts come by, I tend to want to share it so that people can probably add to it and share their opinion as well. And what I'm seeing, especially from that world lead from Clayton, I see hunger, I see determination, I see the will to succeed. I see an athlete that would have been there, would have tested or tasted the water, and is very pleased with what she would have tasted. So the fact of the matter is that she is not going to let up right now. But this has also to do with Shericka Jackson, because that Shericka Jackson is coming back from an injury, and the fact that she indicated or gave a slight hint that there might be a possibility of her, doing only one event. And then it dawned on me that, this could be returning to a vintage MVP when you have top tier athletes like a Shelly and a Elaine, and one was allowed to do the 100 and one was allowed to do the 200. I guess it is a case where Stephen Francis is pretty much spreading the wealth, spreading the love, spreading the richness over different events. And Shericka, a lot of persons have been criticizing her, especially on that world relay anchor. And, she seems to be one that the fans are now turning on, where speed is concerned. And they have given up on Shericka, and they have been saying a whole lot. So persons probably think that Shericka should just stick to the 200 meters, and that is where I start to think, because if she made that comment and then Tia is doing so well in the 100 meters, then it's clear indication that potentially she might be able to only do the 100 meters, because of course that explosiveness that she would have had over the past few seasons is no longer seen. And again, that could also be speculation, because she might not be at the place where the explosiveness would have already time to come out or time to see, you know what I mean? So that in itself is also another huge speculation on the part of the track and field fans, the avid fans of track and field, who tends to want to give their opinion where the athletes are concerned. Some of these opinions are not, from an informed place, but again, sometimes they make a lot of sense. So I think Tia is being prepared for the 100 meters. She has been doing the 200 meters at the D meets, getting that speed endurance up and running, ensuring that whenever it's time to, hit the track, she's able to, finish that race. That speed endurance, that deceleration will not come as quickly as it used to. So I believe that Francis is trying to, put both athletes out there. And I very well could be wrong, again, this is just my opinion, but I believe that Shericka would not have made that comment if something wasn't brewing, right? She would not have made that comment if it wasn't possibly a discussion that was had between herself and the coaching staff at the MVP. I mean, again, things can change after early discussion. Things can change where the athletes probably would have improved over the event that they thought that she couldn't have. I remember at the trials last year, it was a situation where Shericka did the double, but I mean, she was excited on winning the double, and it was said that the thing was for her not to, you know, go so hard, but that never materialized because, you know, when athletes are compete and them want to win, you know, sometimes instructions go out the door. You get what I'm saying? So I'm kind of interested to see how the trial will be in terms of events for athlete. I mean, Shericka don't really have to do the 200 meter trials, you know. Will she do the 100 meters just to, you know, sharpen up, to get that explosiveness, a competitive edge, you know what I mean? Or she'll just go out there and perform in both events for some needed runs. You get what I'm saying? It's interesting though. It's interesting. I think Stephen really probably a look on that road, having someone in the 100, but is still able to take on the big wigs of a Shakira, Julian Alfred, Shelley, you know, these athletes, Elaine, because we understand that Elaine might be on a massive return, you know. Some people say, oh, it's gone through the gate already and the ship has already you know, sailed, but them say we're not dead in the dash, you know, so me not follow him, you know. So me I say, but all in all, I think Frano has that up his sleeve. I think Shericka is going to do the 100 meters, the 200 meters only, and then Tia and Tina might be his go-to in the 100 meters. Like I said, the facts can change with how the season pan out. You know, if she improves rapidly, it might be a case where the bypass that and you know, just forget about that and just, you know, go the flow of just having her trying to, you know, do the double. But again, this is just my opinion. I'm just share my thoughts, you know. What you think about it? Do you think that Shericka is only just gonna do the 100, the 200, sorry, and Tia is gonna be solely focusing on the 100 meters? I have a strong feeling that that will be the case, because Frano always try to spread it that way. Worse, there might be concern over Shericka's fitness and explosiveness in the 100. You know, you have more room for error in the 200 meters, and in the 100 meter you have less opportunity for that. So yo, me just share my point, share my opinion. What do you think? I think this is what Frano going to do. I ask you the question. What do you think? Peace.